Hello everyone and welcome to my channel, Siriana Tarot. This is a reading for Virgo, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus signs. This reading covers the period from December 12th, the full moon in Gemini, to January 10th, the full moon in Cancer. I do apologize, these readings are coming out a little bit late. I've been traveling. I do live between two countries, United States and then Colombia and South America. So I'm now back in the Caribbean. So I do apologize in advance for these coming out late, but I also apologize in advance for any weird noises you might hear. There are chickens and roosters around, there are motorcycles, so you just might hear some random sounds that you don't normally hear in my readings, okay? But we just have to embrace them. All right, so this Gemini full moon is also known as December's full cold moon, and it will highlight a ton of information that you didn't have before. And thanks to Mercury, the planet of communication, moving from guarded Scorpio to outgoing Sagittarius, you'll be more inclined to share those thoughts. Every Gemini full moon brings tidal waves of information and demands that our eyes be open, our minds be inquiring and receptive, and our ears be ready. This full moon magnifies internal and external dialogues and spreads messages far and wide. This full moon spread is going to provide you messages that you need to hear about how to not only manifest for your highest good, but also what you need to release or what stands in your way. So for those of you who follow my readings, I do new moon readings for each sign and full moon readings. New moon readings or new moons are times to do rituals, set your intentions, write them down, speak them out loud for what it is you want to manifest. And usually they manifest during a full moon, or the full moon is a great time to release the things that are no longer serving you, that are sort of blocking you from manifesting your highest good. All right, so without further ado, actually, before I get started, I'm just gonna ask that you guys give this video a thumbs up, hit that subscribe button, comment and share if and only if that's something that you like to do, and don't forget to ring that notification bell as well for any new videos that I might upload. Now, without further ado, Virgo, let's go ahead and see what messages spirit, angels, ancestors, loved ones who have passed, and spirit guides have for Virgo, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus signs for this Gemini full moon period. Virgo, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus signs for the time period of Gemini full moon. I'm getting a little bit confused here, Virgo, so some of you guys might be experiencing a little bit of confusion here. Okay, Virgo, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus signs for the Gemini full moon period. So remember, this reading is from Gemini full moon on 12/12 until we have the full moon in Cancer on 1/10. Okay, this is going to be a 7-card reading where I read the bottom card as the overall energy, so 8 cards. And at the end, I'm going to pull some oracle cards for you. Okay. Okay. Your overall message here is the High Priestess, okay? The High Priestess is telling me here that there are things that are going on in the background that you might not quite understand, or you might be trying to reveal something or get answers to something that isn't quite ready to be revealed, and that might be that sense of confusion that I was experiencing. Now, sometimes the High Priestess in reverse can indicate when people are when you're trying to choose between two people, or you're trying to choose between two paths or two jobs or whatever it might be, but it is really making that choice. We do have the yin-yang symbol here, so it's all about balancing the light and the dark. And the High Priestess is showing up here, this new moon, this little sliver that we're seeing there. So this next new moon that we have is, I believe it's on December 25th or 26th, is our new moon in Capricorn. Okay, so that might be something between this full moon that we've had on December 12th in Gemini until the new moon in Capricorn. And do remember, we also do have an eclipse coming up. Lots of powerful energies going on there. The Four of Pentacles, I think you're trying to choose between something that's really stable, but there might be a lot of difficulties. And remember here with the Prince of Swords and the Nine of Wands, yeah, I'm having here, like, we have this Two of this Two of Swords card, which is coming out again, another full moon card where you're really like trying to decide which way to go. So there's some sort of important decision, and Virgo, I can tell and what I was feeling when I was shuffling your cards, a sense of a sense of confusion here. The Nine of Wands, I get that you've been through a lot. You're very strong. You've taken either this whole lifetime or many lifetimes gathering up these wands. So you have so much information and you know exactly what to do. Here again, we have another sliver, but this is kind of like this eclipse moon coming out. So I think this new moon that's coming up in Capricorn and this lunar eclipse is going to be very, very important and very telling for you Virgos. Okay, I think for the Princess of Swords, this is the speaking your truth. You could be spying on someone, someone could be spying on you. It's an energy, though, where you've decided you want to take a new path. It could be a new path of study. It could be a new career. But it could also be like all of the information and all the downloads that you're getting. Remember, Gemini is very tech savvy, and you get all the information. You get truthful information. You get half-truths, you get, so you're going to really have to parse through everything that you're seeing, reading, and hearing. Okay, but I get that this is something, you're really focused on your stability, but you're finding something very difficult, a bit of competition or struggle, okay, that's maybe adding to some of your confusion here. Okay, and High Priestess energy. Again, something that's happening in the background, and you can't quite see everything that's going on. So again, divine timing is at work. Remember, if you feel like things are stagnant, then, there's a reason for that. All right, but let's go ahead and get into this reading. Where are you right now in your life? This is the Prince of Wands. The Prince of Wands, this is passion. This is somebody who's ready for adventure. There is a little bit of a warning with the Prince of Wands. He always reminds me of the Fool. Like, he's a little bit overdressed for the occasion because he's not really sure what he's getting into. Again, I'm picking up on something that's like a little bit unsure, a little bit of confused. Like, you got the invitation, but it didn't say what you're supposed to wear. So you're like, you know what, I'm just going to go as I am, how I normally am, how I'm most comfortable, even if it's a black tie event and I'm in like nice jeans or whatever. Okay, but the Prince of Wands is somebody who's very passionate. Again, we're getting another Lion coming out, so you are very strong. You've been through a lot, even though you might be sort of stepping into something new. Again, you could be starting a new job, you could be starting a totally new business, it could be a new relationship, it could be a new spiritual path, it could be many different things for you, Virgo. Okay, but I'm getting that things are a little bit unclear and you feel like you feel a little bit hesitant because you might not have all of the facts. But it is something that you want, something that you feel like you're passionate about, something you're being called to do. How you project yourself to the world, the King of Cups. This is a visionary. This is somebody who is very emotional, somebody who's very caring. Again, we have another new moon here. So this coming up new moon in Capricorn is going to be important for many of you. And this lunar eclipse, I'm telling you right now, from December 12th until about December 25th, 26th, these next 2 weeks for Virgo are going to be very, very important to you. The King of Cups, he's somebody who's loving, he's somebody who's emotional, he's somebody who's very intuitive. The only thing that like a little warning with the King of Cups is like make sure that there's not too much drama. Virgos are normally quite guarded and don't show a lot of emotion here, but you might be being like, it might be really obvious that you're very emotionally attached to something, and it might be obvious to everybody else, but not to you, and that might be this difficulty that you're sort of experiencing. Okay, but the King of Cups is Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces energy, and he's very loving, he's very generous, he's very intuitive, he's very caring, he's very nurturing. He's usually very artistic, it can be a musician, it can be a poet. It's something that, I think something that you're feeling like you're not sure, I'm getting like why you're doing what you're doing, but it's just coming to you. It's like these spiritual downloads and visions that you're getting. I'm getting that like maybe some of you have like taken up painting or something and you're just sort of channeling, like you might be channeling spirit. Some of you might be called also to be reading tarot, to be using your intuition. The High Priestess is always, she's somebody who's scrying, which is the act of looking into a crystal ball, for seeing the future. So some of you might be starting your own YouTube channels where you guys are reading, where you're reading tarot, or you're, embarking on a path of astrology or some sort of new journey where you're using your intuition quite a bit. All right. What's blocking you? We have the Five of Cups. This is some sort of past hurt or disappointment. something that's not letting you move forward, and it's something that needs to be healed, and then it needs to be cleared so that you can move forward. So if this is talking about a relationship, or if this is talking about you starting a new creative project, or starting your own YouTube channel where you read tarot, I think you've been disappointed in the past. You may not have been successful in the past with something, or maybe people told you you couldn't, or you weren't any good, or maybe you started a channel and you got a lot of negative feedback. That happens. Okay, and I feel like that's not allowing you to move forward. Okay, it could be past breakups. Maybe somebody said some really awful things to you. Okay, or you were cheated on, or you were hurt, or maybe you lost a loved one. Okay, but this is a pain that needs to be healed, and it needs to be cleared. Okay, so really important. Really important there. Again, there's more Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces energy. So again, this might have to do with the Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces person, or you might have that heavy in your chart, or you just might be exhibiting, this is very emotional, sort of deep, kind of murky waters that you might have to sort of wade through at this time. What you need to do to overcome these obstacles: the Emperor, set boundaries. Okay, the Emperor card is Aries. This is somebody who's very authoritarian. This is somebody who knows what he wants. He knows how to get it. He might have a few advisors, but he is the commander-in-chief. You need to step up, okay? In order to overcome this, you need to move past this. It doesn't mean to sweep it under the carpet, okay? Because that doesn't do you any favors, but you need to deal with these emotions, be in touch with your emotions and these past hurts and these past disappointments, and set boundaries with other people. If this is a relationship, maybe you're going through a rocky period, you just started out, everything was great, but you guys hit, your first bump in the road, okay? Or it could be with a career move or whatever project it might be. But remember, you are the leader. Stand in your power and set those boundaries. What you can do within to achieve your goals and your desires. This is the Death card. This is Scorpio. Again, I was kind of getting this Scorpio energy up here. Like, we've just come through Scorpio. We've just left through this huge transformative period that may have been difficult for a lot of signs, especially if you don't have any Scorpio in your chart. And this is a deep transformation. This is also you letting go, and it's very clear you need to let go of this past hurt and past disappointment, which is definitely something that is holding you back. All right, so you really need to go through, and maybe some of you, it's not so easy to move through your emotions and deal with some of those past hurts. You might have swept them under the carpet, okay, and tried to sort of move on and thought you had moved on, and are rearing their ugly head, and now is that time to really move past that. Also to pay attention to the cycles. We plant a seed, we watch that grow, and then we harvest it, and then there's that death and that decay, and then there's rebirth. So there's a cycle to everything. This could be relationships, this could be your job, this could be your growth, whatever it might be. But there's something here that you need to leave behind and you need to let go. And it's very much so attached to this Five of Cups energy. What you can learn from the outside world or from others. This is the Star card. This is Aquarius. I love this because, again, here we do have this full moon showing up. So I'm getting here this Gemini full moon. You're getting a lot of information, okay? And it's going to be really important these next 2 weeks, okay, until this new moon in Capricorn and this lunar eclipse. And then also, remember, this reading goes until January 10th when we have that full moon in Cancer. So this is all about using your intuition, using this star is illuminating her path, but this star is also connected here to her crown chakra, and so really all the downloads and all the information that you're receiving is spot on, okay? Just make sure that you're not feeling overwhelmed, that you do what you need to do, your balancing work, your energy work, your meditation, even if that means finding just some time alone to sort of process the information that you're receiving, because we have the High Priestess, we have the King of Cups, we have the Star. This is you using your intuition, and I'm definitely speaking to some of my Virgo tarot readers out there that work with tarot and work with maybe crystals, work with interpreting dreams and that sort of thing. But what you can learn from the outside world is also just there's hope. Enlightenment is coming, healing and rejuvenation. Again, that's coming through really strong here. So these past hurts and disappointments, they need to be healed. They will be healed if you just do the work. Use your intuition. Know that these types of things don't happen overnight, that you have to take steps towards healing. You know, somebody asked me the other day, well, like, how do I heal those things? Like, I want to heal those things. Well, you know, there's lots of different ways to do it. You know, and journaling might be one of them. You know, really writing down like how you're feeling, how this makes you feel. Okay, and then really trying, you know, you will get the answers. Dealing with those emotions is the best way to do that, okay? Now, your projected outcome, Virgo, is the Magician. This is awesome. This is you manifesting. This is also magic, okay? I am definitely talking to somebody who, you know, I think you guys are highly skilled intuitives, empaths, mystics, yogis, Reikiists. This is you being completely in tune. You guys are receiving, Virgos, highly, highly, highly divinely mandated messages. You're getting loads of downloads. I see that in the star card. All of these messages coming in from the Gemini full moon period. You know, the High Priestess. Again, you might not know exactly how to interpret all these messages at this time. Again, for some of you, that's going to be writing down. Some of it's going to be just do more meditation. For some of you, it's going to be going out and walking on the beach or in the woods or being in touch with nature. But you are manifesting this. This is something that you wanted to do. And I'm getting that some of you might be a little bit afraid of it. Okay, because it's really powerful and intense. These messages that you're getting, your intuition is turned on and turned up. And, you know, it's really, really important that you heal and clear this. But I think for some of you, you might be a little bit afraid of some of the powerful stuff that's going on. And Spirit is saying, don't step into your power. You've manifested this. You are the Magician. You have all the tools you need to make this a reality. And you're doing it. But just don't stop, because I think some of you might be feeling a little bit spooked by what you're hearing. If this message is really, really resonating with you, you know, sometimes that happens. A reading can give you goosebumps. It doesn't necessarily have to be this reading. There are amazing readers out there on YouTube. But you might be hearing things that are just like that are just going to make your jaw drop, you know, are going to almost be scary for you. And Spirit saying, don't be afraid. You know, we're co-creating this together, but this is something that you have wanted and needed to manifest. Wow, Virgo, awesome. So as you guys know, I'm in the Caribbean. I'm very close to the sea. So you're going to see me using the Mermaid Oracle cards with more frequency. So let's go ahead and pull some additional messages for Virgo, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus signs. Atlantis, rapid development, excellence, and success. Yeah, some of you guys are up leveling and you're doing it with such intensity and speed, and it might be freaking you out a little bit, okay? But your spiritual development, again, this might not be a spiritual reading, but right now, you know, at first I'm like, okay, it could be a relationship, it could be a job, it's all possible. But you're seeing such huge rapid development and success and excellence, and that can be a little bit scary. I mean, for some of us, you know, like if we're not used to success and then all of a sudden, boom, it happens, we've manifested it, right? But it's scary at first, you know, because that's also, you know, there's a lot of disappointment in the past, and a lot of us get comfortable in this sort of, in this place of not receiving or not feeling worthy of it. You know, and so when that changes, you know, that's a really scary thing, because you have to tear down walls and thoughts and, you know, belief systems and patterns that you've had for a really long time. But this is definitely some sort of spiritual ascension, you guys. This is amazing. All right, if it doesn't speak to you, again, it's rapid success, it's excellence. You know, you're just nailing it, Virgo. This is awesome. So don't be afraid. Just do what you're doing. Okay, and then here we have experiments, manipulation of nature, forcing change, cruelty in the pursuit of knowledge, and arrogance. Yep. So again, here I'm getting that you guys have been wounded. There's something that you need to let go of. It could be a relationship. It could be, you know, a relationship you have with yourself when you're telling yourself you can't do things. You might be exceptionally cruel to yourself. I know my earth signs, in particular my Capricorns and my Virgos, you know, you're your hardest critic. Okay, and I think that, you know, you've been really, really hard on yourself, and this coming out on top of the death card, some of you might have experienced the loss of a loved one that might have inspired you to start, like, you know, trying to do like necromancy or reading cards or something like that. Or you might have just received some messages from them in dreams, or from spirits or angels or what have you. And it's really important that you let go of the sadness and the sorrow. Obviously, it doesn't mean that you try, to speed up the grieving process by any means. That's not a good idea. A good idea is to, deal with all of the stages of grief, okay? Even if it's the loss of a loved one or a relationship or any of these hurts and these disappointments, because if we try to sweep it under the carpet, that's not for our highest good. Okay, but, I think before where you were trying to force change or force something to happen too quickly, okay, and you were being extremely, extremely cruel to yourself. I don't get that this is somebody else. I get that this is you, okay? For some of you, it could be that you were with, you left a relationship, but it was kind of more like masochistic on your part, okay? That like and I think I think I'm going to leave it there. I'm not going to keep going. Okay, but you had to leave something behind that was very painful. Okay, but Spirit is saying that there's so much healing and rejuvenation here through this path that you're on. And don't be afraid, okay? Because more than anything, I'm seeing in this experiments card, again, this like rapid development, all of these downloads, all these messages, you might be thinking, oh my gosh, this is like out of a movie. Right? And like that might be scary for you. Some of you, I think, might be seeing spirits. Okay, you might have seen a loved one who passed on. Okay, and that might have really spooked you, right? But Spirit's saying, no, but you've manifested this. You've had this ability all along. It might have happened to you as a child, I'm getting, and you kind of just ignored it, like, oh, childhood fantasies, making stuff up, etc., etc. Okay, and Spirit's saying, no, look at that. You get the Magician in the mirror again. This is you. You guys are very powerful manifestors. You guys, this is bringing in a lot of anxiety. It's forcing you to deal with a lot of, beliefs that you have about yourself from the past. And it's sort of making you feel like, oh my gosh, some of you might be like accountants or doctors or lawyers or some sort of like highly respected profession. And like all of a sudden you're like, I am reading tarot cards or I'm scrying or, what have you. But you've manifested all of this. And I think that you're just getting these incredible, crazy downloads, especially between now and the new moon in Capricorn, and it's bringing you so much anxiety. It's like, you're like, am I really doing this? Am I really seeing it? I think some of you might be feeling like, am I crazy? And I think I'm getting that you guys are a little bit afraid of this, but Spirit is saying, don't be afraid. This is all natural. This is you. And I'm getting for a lot of you, this is something that, happened to you as a child, but you ignored it. Okay, that you were open to these messages when you were a child. But now, they're coming back and you're just like, oh my gosh. But you've been doing the work too. It's not like this is happening out of nowhere. I just think you didn't expect it to happen the way that it's happening. Okay, Virgo? What an intense and magical reading. So Virgo, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. I tried to shuffle these cards, but happy ending. Spirit wants you to know, happy ending. Don't worry. Don't worry, whatever's happening here, whatever has happened, to stop worrying. You've manifested this. You are divinely guided and protected. There's a lot of stuff going on behind the scenes that you might not be able to see, but it's all going to result in a happy ending. Virgo, this is a very magical reading. I love this for you. So please go ahead and give this video a thumbs up, hit that subscribe button, comment and share if and only if that's something that you like to do. Remember that I love you guys so much, and thank you for listening. Don't forget to ring that bell as well for any new uploads. And I hope you guys have a beautiful and magical, and I know you guys are going to have a very, very powerful Gemini full moon until this next full moon in Cancer, but definitely, the next 2 weeks are going to be really powerful for you Virgos. All right, I love you. Thanks for listening.